Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm excited to share today's top stories with you. We're starting off with a significant development in Iran, where the protest movement has been gaining momentum over the past few weeks. According to reports, the Iranian government has restored internet services for some users after a prolonged shutdown that had left many without access to online platforms. This move comes as a surprise, given the government's earlier efforts to suppress the protests by cutting off internet connectivity. The protests in Iran have been marked by violence and unrest, with many demonstrators taking to the streets to express their discontent with the current regime. The government has responded with force, resulting in numerous casualties and arrests. Despite this, the protesters remain determined, with many calling for radical change and an end to the Islamic Republic's authoritarian rule. Reza Pahlavi, the exiled son of Iran's last Shah, has been a key figure in the opposition movement, positioning himself as a potential leader in the event of regime collapse. He has received support from various quarters, including Israel, which has expressed interest in seeing a change in leadership in Tehran. It's worth noting that the situation on the ground is complex and multifaceted, with various factions and interests at play. While some have accused the Iranian government of brutality and repression, others have pointed to the role of external actors, such as Israel, in fueling the unrest. As we continue to monitor the situation in Iran, it's essential to approach the issue with nuance and balance, recognizing the diverse perspectives and motivations involved. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. We're continuing our coverage of international news, and today we're focusing on a developing story in Africa. The dispute over the Nile River waters between Egypt and Ethiopia has taken a new turn, with U.S. President Donald Trump offering to mediate the conflict. According to reports from multiple sources, including ABC News and The Straits Times, President Trump has written to Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, expressing his willingness to restart U.S. mediation between Egypt and Ethiopia. This move comes after Ethiopia's inauguration of its Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, a $5 billion project that has been a source of tension between the two countries. Egypt has long opposed the dam, citing concerns about its future water supplies from the Nile, which it relies heavily on. Sudan, another downstream country, has also expressed concerns about the regulation and safety of its own water supplies and dams. On the other hand, Ethiopia sees the dam as central to its economic ambitions, providing electricity to its population of over 120 million people. In response to President Trump's offer, Egyptian President al-Sisi has stated that he values the proposal and is willing to engage in negotiations to resolve the dispute. Sudan's army leader, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has also welcomed Trump's mediation offer. It's worth noting that this is not the first time the U.S. has attempted to mediate this conflict. Previous attempts at negotiation have been unsuccessful, but with President Trump's involvement, there may be new momentum behind the talks. As we continue to follow this story, it's essential to remember the complexities and sensitivities involved. The Nile River is a vital source of water and livelihood for millions of people in the region, and any resolution will require careful consideration of the needs and concerns of all parties involved. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments in this story and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. For now, it's clear that President Trump's offer has opened up new possibilities for dialogue and cooperation between Egypt and Ethiopia. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the developing situation in Syria, where Syrian troops have swept through dozens of towns and villages in the country's north after Kurdish fighters withdrew under an agreement aimed at avoiding a bloody showdown. According to reports, the withdrawal was a gesture of goodwill by the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, leaving the Euphrates River as a front line between Syrian government troops to its west and Kurdish forces to its east. The move comes after weeks of tensions between the two sides, with Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa vowing to reunify the fractured country under one leadership after 14 years of war. Residents in the affected areas have had mixed reactions, with some celebrating the arrival of Syrian troops, while others have expressed concerns about the future of the region. The U.S. has also been involved, with envoy Tom Barrack meeting with Kurdish leaders in an effort to calm tensions. It's a complex and delicate situation, with both sides having legitimate concerns and interests. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to approach it with nuance and understanding, recognizing the historical and cultural context that underlies the conflict. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.